I'm really, really happy to welcome two guests into the studio today. Their stories overlap in that they are both finding art and creativity as therapy after having sustained a traumatic brain injury in separate incidents. But the story of their friendship goes back many, many years before these incidents, and we'll get into that as well. This is the kind of story I really want listeners to hear. One about having art and creativity in your life as more than just a hobby or a way to while away a lazy Sunday afternoon. So please sit back and enjoy the conversation with TJ from Twisted Beach Finds and my lovely fiancée, Stacy from Where's My Glasses. You can find both those pages on Facebook. This is just kind of an accident that we all happen to be in the same place at the same time to talk about doing cool stuff.
I think it's pretty groovy.
Very groovy.
So that will be, if you're listening in stereo, that'll be Stacy in your right ear and TJ in your left ear.
Oh, you can do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talk about creative.
No, it's just moving a slider back and forth.
Oh, well, see, I don't know these things. I create art. That's what I do.
So what started your artistic journey?
Honestly, during the vid years, the first 2 years, everywhere was blocked off with that caution tape. Where am I going to walk my dogs? I had to go somewhere. I found the beach. Mm-hmm. And during said walks, I had the beach to myself for 2 years. And I started collecting sand glass and oddities, picking up garbage. I mean, the list is endless. Driftwood pieces. It just goes on and on. And I thought, well, how could I possibly, during such a hard time, give back to my community? So I started auctioning and selling my works online on Twisted Beach Finds and started giving back to the community. And that was my way of giving back. And
right on.
Yeah.
So that was during COVID, essentially.
That was, it started during COVID. This is my 5th year now doing this.
That's super cool.
Yeah, we have an event coming up, which I'm sure we'll talk about real soon.
Well, no better time than right now.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, this is awesome.
Shameless self-promotion.
There you go. So the event, Twisted Beach Finds, I'll be hosting it. It's my celebration of getting through some brain injuries as well as the big C over the last little while, the last couple of years, and functioning through that and how I've been able to create through that. And again, of course, I have to give back to the community because that's just who I am.
Nice.
This event, I'm not sure what the numbers will work out to yet, but a large sum of it will be donated lovingly to the Northumberland Food Share in Northumberland, Ontario. Mm-hmm. The event, shall I go on with where it takes place?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll take place in the Coburg Memorial Temple on Victoria Street, right in Coburg, Ontario.
Cool.
I've invited some guests, including your fiancée, Stacy, to join to help raise some funds for the food bank. I think it's important. And she's got some really crafty things going on.
Yeah, you're totally blinged out, hon. What's going on? This is great.
Well,
you're going to notice the sound of a restless dog in the background, so there's nothing we can do about
Shadow's
that.
adorable. Just take it. It's good. He's good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. You shouldn't say but here I am. And where's my glasses? After I hit a moose in 2017 and messed my brain and my eyes up. And I had difficulty seeing in different depths, so I had to have 2 different glasses, and it was really hard. So I made these lanyards, and I was wearing 2 glasses around my neck at all times for a long time as I was going through my recovery. And now I'm down to 1 pair of glasses, my readers, and in the meantime, I've started a business called Where's My Glasses, because really when you can't see things up close, you're screwed.
Now, to describe these lanyards to people, like if they think of those like a black piece of paracord that goes around your glasses, this is totally not what Stacy does.
No. What I do is, it's all about your colors and because it's functional jewelry as well as, keeping your glasses with you. So we kind of work with the color of your eyes, the color of your glasses, your favorite colors, the colors you wear, and I create something that's specifically for you. So they're one of a kind, a lot of them. In some cases, I have additional sets of the accent beads that we start with, and we can take it from there. It's a lot of fun.
Super.
It's a lot of fun to
I
do.
love the term functional jewelry or
Right.
functional art. Right? It's not just a way to bling yourself out.
No, yeah, and it's with you all the time. I mean, if your job is to, look at the computer all the time, then you just got to have them right there. And there was one lady I went into a clothing store, and I was looking at something, and I popped my glasses on, and she's like, "Ooh, I need a pair of those. I keep losing them." And she says, and customers actually run off with them too. And I said, "Well, I'm making a set right now, and it was with abalone shell, sorry." And I was making it for myself, but she ended up with them, and she's a happy camper now, not losing her glasses.
And that's like the title of the like the Facebook location. Where's my glasses? I mean, like, who that wears glasses hasn't said that at least twice a day?
10 times a day, honestly.
So, what is the twisted and twisted beach finds? Is it an attitude, or
Well, first,
For sure.
I just want to go back to where's my glasses. I can't tell you how many times I've said that in a day, and I absolutely love my lanyards. Thank you so much, Stacy, for them.
and you've made some for men as well, right?
Absolutely,
So it's not
absolutely.
just a blinged out.
No, and it's check glass beads. It's all just a total different array of natural rocks and minerals.
It's super cool.
Tiger's eye and rose quartz and labradorite and all
Healing
Healing
stones.
stones.
That's awesome.
And all different colors mixed in.
Nice.
For you, whatever is
Yeah.
for you. But I do make a whole bunch, and you can look and go, "Oh, that's me."
Right?
Right?
So, where does the twisted come from?
So it's a funny story, actually. When I was growing up, they called me a few different things, and one of them was Twisted Chick. She's this twisted chick.
Okay.
Because I was very different from everyone around me.
That's a good
They
thing.
were very rough and tough around the edges, from punk to mod to, all the emo. I was very funky. I had to do weird things with my hair and wear odd clothes, as people would call them. So I was considered weird or twisted. So the twisted, not only that, but I twist sandglass into jewels.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's kind of, so the twisted chick kind of stuck
Twisting
with me.
sandglass, like with
So with wire.
Wire.
Yeah. So I twist the sandglass with wire, and oddities, driftwood pieces.
That's cool.
Yeah, I do some pretty funky stuff.
so it's
I'm
all
still-
natural sourced stuff.
Yeah, and
that you
it's
find.
cleaning up the beaches at the same time, in a way,
Super
right? I know a lot of people that just walk by sandglass, and I will pick it up, and I'm like, scores, because I know it'll make a great pendant or earring, or I
Right.
have an exact piece at home kind of thing. So yeah, for 5 years, that's what I've been doing: cleaning beaches, picking up sandglass, twisting them up with wire, and making twisted art, as I
there's-
call it.
Yeah.
I'm a painter, photographer. I've done many different things to create through not just the brain injury, but having the big C as well.
Yeah.
Very, very twisted journey, I can tell you the last little bit has been. But I'm on the rise, and I'm back, baby, and I'm
That's right.
creating
Awesome.
again, and that's why we're having this big celebration. I'll be hosting that day,
That's perfect.
emceeing that day, and maybe I might even sing that day, and we'll see. But I've invited, like I said, at least 6 of my close crafty friends locally that will be down in there, and
musicians.
musicians. I've got a sign-up sheet at Long and McQuaid in Coburg, Ontario. So if you want to show off your talent, go sign up quickly.
Right on.
I'm picking up this Friday after the holiday weekend, 2025, Canada Day. So the Friday after Canada Day weekend.
Right. That's
I'll be
cool.
picking up the list.
Yeah.
So get out there and sign up for that. And
that's at Long McQuaid and Coburg?
in Coburg, that's right.
Right on, right on.
And I hope to see everyone out there and checking out unique, one-of-a-kind crafts.
Right on.
Yeah.
So when I mentioned before about art as therapy, I think there's a misunderstanding around it. I have a friend who went into music therapy studies post-secondary, and I didn't really understand it at the time. But I mean, as far as like music therapy goes, a lot of it is, some of it is just helping, people with like really severe disabilities manage basic motor skills, how to hit something.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's obviously not the case with you guys. Like, what is? If I was to say, is your art therapeutic to you? How would you?
I can answer first. So again, it's TJ Corbett from Twisted Beach Finds. I personally was unable or was muted, and I was unable to use my voice of all the things I was going through during my remission.
Literally
muted. I was
Wow.
I was in a box per se. And so I chose to paint, write songs, sing, just create. So I have the whole works of that. And then now is my Mariposa stage. I am now free of that box or that cage. So there's these wonderful, odd, very twisted art pieces that are coming out of me. So I want to share that with everybody and celebrate my remission and my freedom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Stacy,
I'm sorry.
what
I
does
forgot the
it
question.
mean to you using
Therapy.
your creativity as therapy as well?
Right. It's incredibly helpful. There's a couple of different things that I do. One of those, with a class of Zoom online through the Concussion Fix, is Mandela Wednesdays. And it's all about, Mandalas is when you start in the center and you go around, you make the same shapes, and it's petals or triangles or whatever. And it's all very being mindful. And in your breath and your intake and your outtake. And then at the end, you end up with this beautiful piece of artwork. And it's inspired me to get all sorts of different markers and metallic markers and all sorts of different things, so I can create more and more that way. And then within the beads, the beadwork, is the creating each lanyard is entirely different than the next. I can go with the same color scheme as one, but it always ends up different. And I enjoy that creative process. I build it, I take it apart, and I come out with something really neat. And what I've added just recently is these fidget spinners, which I'm using single beads that I have that I can't use with my lanyards, because generally you need two, one on either side.
Symmetrical. Right.
So there are these really cool, great beads that I'm being able to use in a different way, and every pen is different.
So it's a pen. It's a fidget spinner.
It's a pen that's a fidget spinner, and the pen writes really nice.
That's a bonus.
It's a bonus.
That works.
Yeah, right. And they're just absolutely gorgeous beads, and the color schemes, and so I have those that will be at the art show.
Oh, cool.
And it's
as well as your lanyards.
As my lanyards, and I also make key lanyards too, like for your keys to go around your neck. They're just a little bit longer, and it's whatever your color scheme, is whatever
That's
you're happy
super cool.
with. Yeah.
And that's one thing I think is really cool, like when you said about functional art, is
absolutely.
that, like, I know that you cannot resist decorating anything. If there is a blank surface, it won't be blank for long. If there's an empty windowsill, it's like, oh, what can I put in there? That's beautiful. Because you get to take the simplest things and make them beautiful.
Yeah.
And some people don't care about that kind of stuff.
Some people don't, but I know a lot of people that do.
That's right.
Yeah, they just
Makes
want
you happy.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy. And see, for me, going into art, and I call it the great escape. It's not alcohol, it's not drugs, it's the great escape. It's getting in there, avoiding the pharmas that are prescribed.
Oh yeah.
right?
And being so mindful.
And being mindful, present
Mindfully
within the moment while you're creating.
Yeah, it gets your...
It's better than anything.
Yeah.
I do it outside often, and I just hear the birds and the wind blowing and the frogs and
Yeah.
everybody tweeting.
The great
buzzing.
escape. Yeah. The buzzard buzzins. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about, I guess you could call it like portable art, is that you can take it with you.
Yes.
That's why I teach music, and so I always tell people that's like, no matter what instrument they play or aspire to play, I always tell them, get a ukulele. I don't care if you're
That's
a pianist.
so interesting.
If you're a piano player, get
Okay.
a ukulele. It's the most fun you can have for $60.
Okay.
And it lasts your lifetime.
True enough.
Right,
Yeah.
and you can sit on the toilet with it, And if I say that to kids, right?
Yeah.
They're like,
Right.
"And then, what would I do on the toilet with it?" I said, "Sing a song about taking a poo or something." And then it can bring some levity to the kids, but then they start thinking about it, and then they can start to overlap one learning process with another.
True.
And so if they're playing guitar, guitar and ukulele work a lot alike. Piano and ukulele are almost opposite in application, but in theory, they're the same.
Huh.
Yeah.
We're learning something today.
I love it. The neuroplasticity is happening.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, Stacy, you also had a background in theater and dance and all that as well,
Yes.
right? Do you find that plays into your creative process now?
Well, the theater I can't possibly do anymore because my memory's so bad, my short-term memory, I can't remember things. But my dancing and the physical things, I definitely I'm dancing all the time. When there's music on and I'm in a store,
Yeah.
I'm dancing.
That's me too. I
Right?
swear.
Wherever I am is the
Yeah.
dance floor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the clerk will look at me or whoever. I'm like, hey, the dance floor is right here. Wherever I am is the dance floor.
I actually got two other people dancing
Oh, great.
to
That's
whatever was
awesome.
playing on the radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
Spread
that,
the love.
again, being in the moment always and
Yeah.
going, yeah, that's a good beat. Yeah,
Right.
let's do this.
And then
Uh-huh.
it changes your brain waves.
Absolutely.
It puts you in, even if
Yeah.
you're not with your primary art form at that point, you're dancing. So your brain is going, oh, we're having fun. I'm creating.
That's right.
But see,
And
because
moving.
that includes music.
Yeah.
And that's an art form in itself.
Absolutely.
So we're drawn to it, and for me, I'm the same way. I feel to dance. Like I'd be there looking at the Heinz ketchup, just dancing and singing along.
So
you know,
you had a great song just before I hit record. Do you want to share that with the audience?
I don't remember it now.
Okay.
To be
Damn, I
honest,
didn't hit record.
Too bad that wasn't recorded. That was
I honestly don't remember.
Okay. But you paint as well.
Yeah,
people that...
painting, multimedia.
Because we have
photography.
probably 5 or 6 of your pieces
Oh, you
here.
Are you
probably
kidding?
have 1,000 of
I
our
have
piece, my pieces.
easily probably 30 ever twisted pieces.
No, but I just meant
No,
her-
of the
her
paintings, there's at least 7
Yeah.
or 8 here.
Yeah, we have them on in the downstairs bathroom.
I appreciate it
so
so
that's
much.
it's a wonderful thing to look at while you're not
There.
playing the
Watering.
ukulele. And then when you first walk in the front door.
And yeah, the vestibules,
Yeah.
few of them.
Yeah.
And also on the music stand over with the
Yeah.
violins and whatnot.
I love seeing the work, and I'll tell you why, because I can see now how far I've come from there.
Oh,
So
nice.
that it's really cool for me to see
Nice.
the
That's
pieces.
And how do you
yes.
feel about looking back at your old work? Do you just see the mistakes like the musicians do?
Not mistakes so much as, wow, I was going through that at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the big
So-
freeze?
Like the big freeze.
Yeah.
For me, excuse me, let me grab a drink of water. For me, it's more about
Or the big melt?
the
Big melt. I'm sorry, the big melt.
So the big melt was me going through, some tragedy at the time.
Oh, okay.
And it was at the same time as the big melt was happening, in spring. Mm-hmm. So that's
And I have one of those pieces.
yeah. See,
Nice.
art is amazing. You're able to, like I said,
Yeah, and
escape into it.
it's rare that you'll find an artist or a creative person who only does one thing. I mean, why would you limit
I do
yourself?
so many different things. It's unbelievable. Like I can't stop. I have ideas every day, and then I forget about half of them because
Yeah.
there's so many ideas that I
Yeah.
have. But whatever I come up with between now and August 9th at the Memorial Temple in Coburg, it's going to come pouring out because, man, I got a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
As do I. It's
Shit,
good times.
It'll be some great unique crafters for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah,
I'm excited about my celebration.
I had a client in the studio maybe 2 years ago, and he was recording some demo pieces of his up here, playing guitar and singing.
Nice.
And he was walking up the stairs, and I mean, like, we're all
I think I
creative
know
here.
who that is.
And he was walking up, and he sits down in the studio here, and he goes, "What do you do with all this stuff? Or why do you have so much stuff?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Because I do a lot of things."
That's right.
That's right.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
you show me a guitar player with one guitar.
Yeah.
Right.
I
know?
literally got a 2-bedroom, and one of the bedrooms is supposed to be just for my art studio.
Good.
And it's now spilling into the kitchen, the
Oh,
living
yeah.
room, the bathroom, and part of my bedroom now.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Absolutely.
Because it depends on what mood I'm in and what I want to create and what I'm feeling that day.
So what's your guys' take on the idea that a creative mind has a messy desk?
Oh, I agree with that because we just we just do it. That's just the way
I just
it is.
painted you into a corner.
You totally painted me into
You
a corner.
did pin me into a corner. I'm like, actually, you know what? I can remember saying I'm going to keep my desk area clean, and now there's sand glass and wires
Yeah.
and beads and stuff all over the place right
Yeah.
now as we speak.
And of course, honey, we live together.
Yes.
You know the madness that's downstairs. I switched from making lanyards to making fidget spinners, which are pens, which are have a bigger post than say the fishing line or whatever it is
Okay.
I'm using. So I had to go through, and there's all the beads that are down there now have bigger holes. So I can I
okay.
can only
I got
create
it
with
now.
those rather than with all of everything.
When I was thinking fidget spinners, I thought of, the little things that you hold in between your fingers and you spin around and you just look at them.
Yeah, well,
But these are like on the shaft of a pen.
Yes,
Cool.
and pretty colors, and they're loose on the shaft, so you can spin them.
So it's truly functional art.
Yeah,
FFA.
absolutely.
That's awesome. So
So
I also
pretty.
touched on the in the beginning, just when I was introducing you guys, about your shared injuries that you're working through and finding therapy and art, but that you go way back.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to share any stories? We're not PG here, so you can say whatever you want.
I mean, we met at a telecommunications company. 2006, I want to say.
2005.
2005.
December 2005.
Right, there you go. Good. And we're worried about our memory.
Well, I had an
Long-term
accident just
memory
after.
is good, but
Yeah.
the short-term memory just blows.
Yeah.
Okay, so we met back then, 2005. She was ran around with bells and whistles, making us
Incentive.
incentive. Yes,
I was the
making us feel incented in working harder and whipping us like. No, I'm kidding.
Like rented mules.
Honestly, she was, but I would always win something because
And it made the job fun,
It
too, I
made the
bet.
job very
Yeah,
fun.
right.
She
That's
was the funnest thing. We needed her on that floor. It was very mundane and boring before
that was
she came.
Your theater experience came to the fore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a graphic design artist and doing all sorts of different things back in those days.
So that would have been like easy to access computers for graphic design, right?
Right. Well, I went through Sanford for audiovisual graphic design. I can't exactly remember when I graduated. I'm going to say no, I can't even say. I'm sorry. My brain's not working well that way. But I went to Toronto shortly after and was hired with the communications company in 96. Okay, so I graduated.
Now I remember.
Say 94, 95.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that wasn't my job that I was hired for, but it was one that I went into and was able to use that and a lot of other fun parts of my job at that place.
That's cool.
It was awesome.
So the creative mind always has a way to bring their creativity to every situation.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm a photographer, so I would photograph all the events and then send those about and do, different things. And I was a photographer in Toronto for 20 years, shooting concerts and getting in with my big lens and shooting great stuff.
Amazing stuff.
Amazing
I remember.
stuff. Yeah. And great times.
And
I love the
you're a
concerts.
published photographer now.
Yes. I got the cover of the River magazine a little while ago. And it's a mandala of flowers, petals from the garden here.
But what about the book?
Oh, and that book, yes, I was published in a Max Webster chronology book from...
Max Webster is a legendary Canadian rock icon.
Yes, with Kim Mitchell and his wily guys. And I can't remember what year I shot that in, but it was they hadn't played together in 10 years.
Wow.
It might have been for the Jeff Healey tribute concert held through Q107, but... I was contacted by this really great guy that I became great friends with afterwards, Bob, and he did a chronology of Max Webster all through the 70s, 80s, and whatever happened, and contacted me one day, and he said, "Did you shoot these pictures?" And I said, "Yes, I did."
So where did he see them?
On Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
He just went
somehow on
creeping
Facebook.
random profiles looking for Max Webster pics.
Yep, absolutely. And when I come up with his last name, because in my brain, I'll definitely say it.
Wagner, isn't it?
Oh yes, Bob Wagner. I'm sorry, Bob, if you're listening. And he is an incredible musician and a hardcore Max Webster fan. And he's presently living in. He left Toronto, and he's now living in Montreal, doing other awesome things.
Cool. Yeah. So back in those days when you guys first met, TJ, did you have creative motivations then? Was anything on your plate back then?
Actually, funny enough, I wanted to become a professional dancer and was getting up there.
Stacy's floor
She's
dancing.
dancing. Yeah, she's floor dancing right now. In about 2010, I went to apply for Canada's Got Talent.
Cool. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then something tragic happened, and I just had to back out of it. But I feel as though, I now looking back, I feel like I know I could. Back then, I was a dancer. That was my gig.
What kind of dance was your focus?
I wanted to be like in videos, in movies. You ever, what's that movie, Fame?
Yeah.
Flash
Right?
dancing.
Flash dance, she was my hero when I was a kid. I wanted to be like the welder in the day and not like a peeler at night, but a dance, like an actual dancer on stage with other people.
That's cool.
Yeah, in videos, stuff like that.
That's
movies.
a tough gig. I mean, people always want, visual art, and now the functional art, like the Twisted Beach stuff and the lanyards and Stacy's fidget spinners, but like dance, I mean, like
it's tough.
I was very strong. I was a very strong dancer.
But there has to be like a I don't want to say a venue, but like some sort of event, because I mean, like,
to perform
people will put on music in the background and they'll hang art on their walls, but dance is all about the performance.
It's definitely about the performance.
Right.
I entered a lot of events and I would come in fourth. But I knew I was still just there.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, maybe if I just went in front of the world or Canada and just give them my interpretation of what I came up, and I'm not going to even mention the song, but just the feeling of it and being able to express myself in a way where I didn't have the same judges every year. if that makes sense. Almost every different venue, there was,
Right.
similar judges. So no disrespect out there, but y'all didn't pick me. Anyhow, so after that, that's when I started getting more into like felt art and painting once in a while. Piano, guitar for sure I got into after that. I've always done something creative. I can't stop. I cannot not be creative. Like,
Yeah. That's
I
great.
have to keep flowing with some kind of creations.
And
because-
that's a really common thing that you find with creative people, like like an artist that just does one thing. No, I don't think so.
No. I know some artists that all they do is paint, and that's great. I have a lot of respect for them. I personally, my brain won't allow me to just paint.
Right.
I have to do different things all the time.
Right.
And giving back to the community, I think, is just kind of a bonus.
That's awesome.
So why not use the gifts and it's healing me at the same time.
Right.
Each project or each piece that I'm making is healing me within. So why not give
And the accomplishment when
to
it's
where
finished.
it's needed?
Yes,
Yes, the
absolutely.
accomplishment when it's finished.
That's awesome.
There's some great pieces, man. You got two that I'm pretty proud of. Two of them.
You're gonna sneak them out of the house today?
I will not. I will not.
Sell them at the art show.
No, I will not. I will not. No.
I know someone who just does one art.
Was that?
See, yeah.
My dad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll call it two. He's a great photographer, and then he turns them into these incredible slideshows
That is amazing.
that are 12 projectors, and the images are being
Crisscrossed.
shown.
Yeah.
3-4 images can be up at a time, and the screen's 8 by 18 feet. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
he's a madman, a genius at it. And he's picture taker and slideshow maker. It's
That's hard. That's really hard. I in a few episodes ago in a podcast, I was talking about being the artist and the engineer at the same time,
That's him, for
and
sure.
having to flip brain modes. It's like it's one of the things that almost turned me away from re-pursuing music after my first album. Was the fact that there was this wave of getting into the computer-based recording was coming, and I don't like computers really. I mean, I use them every day because I have to. They're part of my workflow. But I was just like, I was right on the edge of going like, I don't know.
But I mean,
All great
I want to
things.
just say that I like your stained glass pieces too.
Yeah, Mark.
I just want to bring that up. Are we gonna have some of your pieces at the show?
Oh, you can take some.
I
Excellent,
think that would be
excellent,
excellent because I have one of your pieces
They're
and
not
it's
cheap.
They're not cheap, but I tell you,
lot of
it's
time
well
in
worth
there.
it. Oh, believe me, you and I both know what the amount of time.
Which is the one that you have?
I have the first copper brown.
It's a box.
It's a jewelry box or
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
The very first copper piece that you made, I have.
right.
So I've got one of whatever, how many number you're gonna make.
I got another
It's
5
in
or
my
so ready to
window.
go. I totally forgot about those. Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah,
so
take those.
beautiful and well worth the,
box
money
is
for
so
sure.
nice.
Yeah.
And that's functional art as well.
Unique art. No, but like that's what I mean. You have something other than your music to fall back
Yeah.
on. You were saying earlier how we flow through different things. Once this show is up, I think this is going to be my last show personally for Twisted Beach Finds in terms of art. I'll still do some commissioned painted pieces, but I think I'm flowing right into music, man. I've been writing songs like no tomorrow in the last
Good.
month. Yeah,
Good.
I've got 10 good songs on
Well,
the go
always
right now.
keep your brushes and your pencils and stuff
Oh
handy.
no,
'cause
I'll keep that handy. There's still gonna
'Cause
be
you never know.
the odd painting I'm gonna want to do.
You're gonna wake up with
But
an
the
itch in the middle of the
jewelry, I
night
think
and
it will
not
be
have
done.
anything to draw with.
Yeah.
You grab a Sharpie and a fucking Kleenex box
I
and
do,
start to get
right?
to work.
Yeah. I've actually written poems on toilet paper in
Yeah.
a public washroom once.
Do you know what I saw an ad for the other day?
I think it was with eyeliner actually.
And I thought of you right away, Stacy, when I saw this ad. It's a new kind of Sharpie called Sharpie Creative.
Oh.
With pearlescent colors and iridescence, and they're guaranteed not to bleed through paper.
Ooh. Okay, we
Yeah.
both have to get some of
We'll have
those.
to get some. We'll have
For
to get
sure.
some.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, and the neat thing about glass too is it changes in the room that it's in.
That's right.
From morning to
light.
night. And real light and artificial light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has been fun.
This has been a blast.
So
Totally.
Does that feel like 34 minutes?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm having a fun time. Like
Yeah.
I don't measure time really.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the neat thing about doing this is it's just a discussion. I had somebody who said they didn't want to come on because they don't like interviews, and I'm like, well, I'm not interviewing you.
Right.
It's just a
Chit-chat.
discussion.
Talking about stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool. So plug
yeah.
your show one more time before we log
All
on.
right. So again, Twisted Beach Finds. If you go onto Facebook and type in Twisted Beach Finds
And where's my glasses?
and Where's My Glasses, you'll see the event date, time to show up. Please do.
And this is on Facebook,
It's on
Yes.
Facebook.
so you can look up both Twisted Beach Finds and Where's My Glasses.
That's right.
on the
That's
Facebook
right.
machine.
Yeah, we hope to see you all out there.
Lots of eye candy.
And
on
there's
those
a
pages,
lot
folks.
of different unique
Absolutely.
art pieces from other crafters that
That's
are
cool.
that are joining me as well in my
Right on.
celebration. So, yeah, come on out. There's something for everyone.
Right on. Well, thank you. This has been a lot of fun. I know we just kind of threw this together in a little bit of an impromptu kind of way when we're all just sitting around here drinking beer and eating pizza.
Yeah,
But here we are.
here we are.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Thanks for having us.
And it literally was that spontaneous. From the living room downstairs, drinking beer and eating pizza, to 15 minutes later up in the studio, putting it down as a podcast episode. And I must say, it was really fun and heartening for me, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation as well. To know that art therapy is a real thing. It's not a frou-frou thing. People get real, long-lasting benefit and healing through art. It's true. Dig in. There's your pep talk. Now go get to work.